Hey guys, it's going to plus back to more to your day, and I am back with my second round plus predictions. I'm a little bit late, but I'm getting it out before the games start, so it's good enough for me, and I hope it's good enough for you too. Um, so of course I got half of my predictions right in the first round. I picked SMU to lose to Penn State. I was correct. I picked Clemson to beat Texas. Wrong. Tennessee to beat Ohio State. Wrong. And Notre Dame to beat Indiana. Correct. So half of these predictions are going to be completely new, while the other two are going to be similar to what I already got. All right. So we got Penn State and Boise State to start off on the 31st, not Christmas, New Year's Eve at the Fiesta Bowl. Um, Penn State is favored by 11. Not looking too good for Boise State in that way, but they do have the best running back in college football, Ashton Jeanty, who ran for almost 2,500 yards and almost 30 touchdowns. Now, Penn State, 12 and 2. Only losses are to pretty good teams, Oregon and we're kind of finding Ohio State, where one was a defensive struggle and one was an offensive shootout. I mean, seems like Penn State can lose in any way they choose, but I mean, two losses isn't bad at all. And one thing these two teams do share in common is a loss to Oregon. As Boise State lost to Oregon by 3 when they were at their weakest, to be fair, because Oregon was not having a good early season. All right, I mean, let's be honest. But then Boise State pretty much blew out every other team they played except for, let's see, UNLV, who went to the championship game against them. Nevada, which I don't know why they struggle with Nevada, Wyoming. And then they beat UNLV convincingly in the Mountain West Championship game to clinch the fourth seed. So I guess when you compare one loss to two loss, and then both teams lost close to Oregon, you could say Boise State's better, but I just don't believe that. Give me Penn State. And if you want to see my score predictions for this game, because I already made a video predicting every round of the playoffs, of course I was already completely wrong. But make sure to check out that other video. It's one of my most recent ones. I think it's my most recent video. I'm not sure though. It's still on this channel, Go Junior Plus, and while you're at it, you should go subscribe to my other channel, Go Junior, where I actually do live streams of my ECU Dynasty and my Titans franchise. All right, let's move on. Penn State gets the win there. And I was going to do it like how they have it, but it makes more sense to do it by time. So I'm actually going to go with Texas, Arizona State next. Arizona State's 11 and 2 with their two losses coming from Cincinnati somehow and Texas Tech, but they had a huge surge at the end of the season and then beat Iowa State in the conference championship of the Big 12 to sneak into the playoffs. Texas went 12 and 2, and I believe they're the only team in the playoffs that has two losses to the exact same team. First in the regular season at home against Georgia, and then in the SEC championship in Atlanta against Georgia. So Texas seems to have that Ohio State or that Ohio State versus Michigan or that Georgia Alabama problem where they just can't beat that one team. They're favored by 13 here. Texas offense is interesting because sometimes it seems like it's just completely based on Quinn Ewers' performance, how good their offense is. He wasn't even that great against Clemson. Like sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes Quinn Ewers doesn't affect the game really at all, and he's just kind of a game manager. But sometimes he can also throw games away, like the game against Georgia, where he really struggled to hold on to the football and to throw accurate passes. But I mean, when you're playing against Florida, any QBs are going to look pretty good. Let's be honest. Anyway, no reason to throw shade at Florida there, but they played Tulane. No respect to them. Texas favored by a lot, and I think they're going to win by a lot. Give me Texas 44-17 against the Big 12 champions, who really don't. I'm not gonna say they don't belong. They do deserve it because they won the home championship, but they're not good. We'll find out. Hey, maybe I'll be proven wrong, and the Peach Bowl ends up in an insane upset, but we'll see when we get there. Next, the 5 p.m. game between Ohio State and Oregon. Now, as you can see here, Oregon is actually the not the favorite team this time around. I've usually been favored like every other game. Were they favored against Ohio State the first time? I can't remember. I don't think they were. I really don't remember. Yeah, no, Ohio State was favored, so they're going to be favored again. Oregon only won by one. This is going to be a very good game, I'm assuming. Both teams nearing 500 total yards. Difference is Ohio State turned the ball over twice. Oregon never did. Ohio State is different from Oregon, very different. Oregon's undefeated. Ohio State, 2 losses. One's to Oregon, and of course, 1 loss to Michigan. And despite being favored, Oregon seems like they have the better chance to winning you. Kind of just look at the teams. Look at Ohio State. They put up 10 points against Michigan. You see Oregon, they beat Penn State and Ohio State, who they're about to play. But in reality, over here, it's warm over here. You'll like it. I'm going to take Ohio State to win this game. Give me Ohio State 31-27 to hand Oregon their first loss and kick them out the playoffs. And I know Oregon fans are going to be like, they all doubted us despite being undefeated. It's going to be like Georgia from 2022. You know, no one really doubts Oregon or Georgia in reality. But we'll see if Dan Lanning can outcoach Ryan Day once again, or if Day will get his revenge and make it to the semifinals. And the final game, which I've already predicted once, is Notre Dame, Georgia, Sugar Bowl. It's like Georgia's favored by a point in this matchup so far. It'll be the last game played. And in the matchup, despite Georgia being favored by 1 with the spread, Notre Dame is favored by almost a whole 10%. Carson Beck will not be playing in this game. Instead, it'll be Gunnar Stockton, but I'm assuming Trevor Etienne will be playing instead of Nate Frazier, who's actually a lead rusher. It'll be interesting to see if Harry Swift can catch a couple passes. Oh yeah, Jeremiah Love is a dog. Not a bulldog, but he's a dog, and I'm kind of scared of him. Not too worried about Riley Leonard specifically, though. Notre Dame, 12-1, their only loss coming to the powerhouse, Northern Illinois. You heard me right. Future national champions, Northern Illinois defeated Notre Dame by 2. Don't ask me how this happened. I have no clue. I don't think NIU was a good team in their own conference, but Georgia has 2 losses, one to Bama by like 5 or something in that range. 7. Okay, it was a full 7. My bad. And then Ole Miss by 18 in one of the few losses that team has here in the playoffs. So it makes Georgia kind of different from every other team because most of the other teams that have losses have very close losses. Well, Georgia has an 18-point loss to Ole Miss, who didn't even make the playoffs. But they won the conference championship, so they earned the right to make it to the playoffs. And I'm still going to take Georgia, even with the Gunnar Stockton information. I just think we're way more talented. I think we're way better coached. And honestly, I think if Stockton even has a decent game, Notre Dame's going to struggle. But once again, if you want to see my score predictions for this game and the game between Boise State and Penn State, you should check out my other prediction video where I predict the entire bracket, including the final teams, even though it's kind of different now, but you'll see when you watch the video. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully, my predictions go better than just 50% like last time. And then we'll see. Hopefully, Ohio State, Texas, Georgia, and Penn State get the wins. See you guys next time. Adios.